Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. We're so excited to welcome you to the first of the 2022 MDA Community Town Hall. We're pleased that you're able to join us. As I just mentioned before, closed captioning is available at the bottom of your screen. There's a closed caption button and you can add subtitles to your screen. But again, we're so excited to have you. We originally, previously known as the partner webinar, did a bit of a transition to a community town hall to welcome our entire community to get updates from MDA leadership, from our community itself, just sending one message to everyone all at one time. So that's the fun name change. Sarah, if you want to switch to the next slide. We're starting off today, we're starting off our town hall with a special guest who's able to join us down in Nashville at our MDA Nashville Tribute Tour, where MDA took center stage. It was here that Nashville served as the kickoff city for the MDA Tribute Tour, an exciting night in many ways and also a big family reunion. You want to pass over to the next couple slides. And the last picture there, seeing the big family photo here. Now I want to invite McKenna to center stage to do an introduction to our special guest for the morning.
Thank you, Don. I'm excited to introduce you to the Beam family. Kelly and Jason Beam are parents to Drew and Carly Beam, and their family is active in their community of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. When they aren't supporting Carly at a cheerleading competition, they are cheering on her brother Drew and the volunteers at a University of Tennessee baseball game. The Beam family became involved with the Muscular Dystrophy Association after Carly was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy type 2 in 2010 when she was just 2 years old. Since then, they've participated in several MDA engagements, including our MDA Muscle Walk and Fill the Boot campaigns. Carly, who is now 14, has been a local ambassador for the MDA in the greater Nashville area, serving as the face of local pinup campaigns with our retail partners and being recognized as the honoree for the Nashville Muscle Team Gala. But one of Carly's favorite MDA experiences is MDA Summer Camp, where she gets to participate in activities like ziplining, horseback riding, and fishing on Piercy Priest Lake, as well as making friends with other kids who have similar experiences living with neuromuscular diseases. Their family finds it important to share their story and experience with SMA type 2, and they're thankful for the life-changing experience provided by MDA Summer Camp and the funding MDA provides to fund research and treatment for individuals like Carly. I'm thrilled to welcome Kelly Beam as I invite her to share more of her family's story and connection to MDA.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, you sound great.
Okay. I didn't know if I was visual or audio. Thank you guys so much for having us today, or me today. Carly is actually doing testing today, so she couldn't be with me, and we are just thrilled to be supporting MDA and all the efforts that this team, more like a family, have actually been to us over the last, well, now 12 years. We just had our diagnosis day of April 10th, or April 19th was 2010 was our diagnosis day. So that day we felt very lonely, and we didn't really know where to turn. And one of the very first things that we were told is contact your local MDA clinic, and we were put in immediate contact with the folks at MDA. And so we are just so eternally grateful for the opportunities that it has created. Carly is a star in her own right. She makes sure that everybody knows who she is, but she has an infectious smile and just an infectious personality that you want to get to know who she is. So if you've not met Carly, I would highly encourage you to come on down to Murfreesboro. Come watch her be the brand new manager for the Blackman High School competitive football and cheer team that is a 9-time champion, world championship team. And she just made manager last night. She's super excited. And, you know, I think what I'm so excited for her is that she gets to tell the story of who she is and not that she's different, but she's very much like all the rest of the kids that she hangs out with. Her mode of transportation and her body is just a little bit different. And so it's been a beautiful opportunity for us to be able to really just promote her, promote inclusive, making sure that our kids know that to be respectful and loving toward people who may not look exactly like them. But living with SMA has its own challenges. But we really kind of push those to the side and say, we can do this and she can do this. She is the strongest person I will ever meet. And I'm just so grateful that MDA has come behind us and pushed us to create some opportunities such as summer camp. Please, goodness, let's get some summer camp back here in Tennessee, because this girl is ready to see her friends, to be in a space by herself and without mom or dad. And I will tell y'all, she's ready to drive. So she's 14 going on 25. So all those families out there that have children who are driving, please help me, because that's our next big hill that we're going to climb, and we're going to roll up that hill, and we're going to do it. So I know it'll be with the help of our MDA clinic. And again, I'm just so grateful for the relationship that we have with all these men and ladies, researchers. I've been so blessed to be able to be on a team, to be able to talk to researchers, to be able to talk to clinicians, and just tell them our thoughts and things that we are looking forward to the future of modern medicine and what's to come. Carly's very lucky that she's been able to have treatment for the last 18 doses, so 3.5 years almost. And we know that that could not have happened without the support of MDA and all the people within that organization. So I know I talked a lot, McKenna, so please forgive me. I could keep on going for days.
No, thank you so much, Kelly. Thanks for joining us, and just thank you so much for allowing MDA to be part of your family's journey.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I apologize for interrupting, but Kelly, I got to say hello again. It was such an inspiration to meet with you in Nashville and to meet Carly. She told me she's going to become manager. She's going to, and she's doing it all.
She's doing it.
Wonderful. It's wonderful. So
Yes.
Thank you so much for all that you do. And please say hello to Carly for me.
I will. I'll give her your
right.
warm wishes. Thanks, Don.
Thank you. Sorry,
Thanks, Kelly. No, you're fine.
We hijacked the call.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Yeah, now I have the pleasure of introducing the MDA President and CEO, Dr. Don Wood.
Oh, I didn't realize I'm coming on now.
You're coming on next. Shy, Dr. Wood.
I want to pick up what you were saying. For all the folks on here, we are in a whole new era for MDA, as MDA, is the #1 voluntary health agency in America for people with neuromuscular diseases and families. And what we are seeing in this new era is a pipeline of promise of new treatments. We never had treatments before. And as Kelly said, Carly is now, under treatment for 3 years, And the energy these treatments are bringing and the excitement, getting ready to drive, this is, people with neuromuscular diseases are living longer, they're living stronger, they are creating all kinds of problems for their parents. You have to teach her how to drive now. You're going to have to do all of those kind of things. And it is an exciting time. And one of the areas that my vision for MDA is to continue to be the leaders in what I call genetic medicine. All these disorders, so virtually every one of these disorders has a genetic defect as its cause. And as we gain knowledge of what those defects are, we now become more and more knowledgeable in the kinds of treatments that we might be able to provide, including treatments like Carly has, which actually direct itself to the gene defect itself, to the genetic problem itself. So it's a very exciting time. for MDA. I am proud and honored to be allowed to lead MDA at this important time. And I take my inspiration and strength from the folks like Kelly and Carly and the thousands and thousands of others that we serve. We can't develop the treatments without their participation. This new area of genetic medicine brings patients together with physicians and scientists in ways that the old medicine never saw. And it's because of volunteers and folks like Kelly and Carly and many others like them that we together are able to move genetic medicine forward in a way that leads the world in this. So again, thank you all for participating in this town hall. Thank you for the opportunity to say hello, to thank you for all you've done, and to give you a vision for the future when we develop treatments for every neuromuscular disease. Like I said, we are filled with a pipeline of promise, hundreds and hundreds of new drugs in the development phases, things that we've never had before that we have now. So again, my thank you to all of you. Back to you, Dawn.
Hi, everyone. Actually, I'm going to send it over to Sharon Hesterly.
Okay.
That's okay. She is on.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay,
Perfect.
wait a
Thank you,
minute.
Sharon.
Before it goes to Sharon, I was supposed to introduce Sharon and I forgot. Dr. Hesterly is one of the leaders in the country in neuromuscular disease and advancing research and things. She is invited regularly to national and international conferences. She delivers papers. She is one of the thought leaders in this area. So it's a privilege and an honor to have her on our team helping move treatments forward. So Sharon, take it away.
Thanks, Donna. I appreciate that introduction. So I feel like I have the best job at MDA actually, because we get to be, sort of the leading edge of all the research that's happening in the space and be able to see it. And we were so thrilled after 2 years of virtual conferences to be able to bring back the MDA Annual Clinical and Scientific Conference in person this year at the Gaylord Opryland Resort in Nashville. And so I really want to give you a flavor of what that meeting was like and what it means to the community. We had over 1,000 people in attendance in person in Nashville. We had 32 sessions that included 1 full day of clinical trial updates. And I think that really illustrates Don's point that we have therapies now. We have an entire day of back-to-back presentations of just updates in various clinical trials. So we're really making progress on a lot of different fronts, which is great to see all of this research coming together in that way. We had 120 speakers, 150 posters. We had industry forums. We had a lot of other organizations. We had online, because we did a hybrid conference, we learned how to do that during the pandemic. Almost 700 people who were attending by the virtual stream, which really opens up the number of people who can attend from all over the world, as you'll see in a moment. So if we go to the next slide. So this conference truly is the big tent for the neuromuscular disease community. Every community needs an anchor, some way to pull together the community, create those relationships between investigators, between clinicians. You can see we had all of these present, our allied health professionals. So these are the nurses, the physical therapists, the occupational therapists. We had the drug developers, we had journalists there, we had all our clinicians and scientists, and 122 representatives from other nonprofit groups, so who maybe fund research in just one of the areas where MDA covers. So really the goal is to be that big tent. And you can also see that we had attendees from 19 countries present. Some of those were virtual, but a lot of them were there in person as well. So it's a big melting pot. It's where this entire ecosystem that's important for research to thrive is created and anchored. So we can go to the next slide. And just to give you a flavor of what the conference was like, in addition to the main sessions where we talked about science and clinical research, we had a series of side conferences. So for example, our care center directors meeting, where we had directors of all of our centers from across the US, we had about 70 people there for that, come together, and they're able to network with one another, catch up on the latest research. They were able to hear from Don directly and ask him questions, and we had a great interface there. We had an investors forum as well. So one of the key things that's important for drug development is for this exciting research in the academic community to get spun out to a company that can move it all the way through that drug development process. So we had a lot of little startup companies who were just getting started, some of them with research that was funded by MDA. We brought them together with those investors so that they could look for funding. We also had a scholar session. So this is all our trainees. This is the next generation. And I should have pointed out on the last slide, of the 500 something scientists, about 130 were trainees. So this is our next generation. And we have a special session for the ones who are funded by MDA to provide mentorship and networking and career opportunities. We also honored our pharma sponsors and our healthcare partners dinner to keep those relationships tight and appreciate them for what they're doing and bringing these new drugs forward in the final stage. And an advocacy forum that was attended by many of the groups who, over 20 different nonprofit groups who participated, to work together on how we can, manage challenges and roadblocks for people who are currently living with neuromuscular disease. So if we go to the next slide. So just a few key conference takeaways, for people who weren't there. And I will say this year, because we streamed virtually as well, anyone who was registered with MDA could also tune in for free to sort of, listen in on this conference. But key things, the Care Center Directors meeting, was great. I'm sorry, this is not the right slide. I apologize for that. Let's skip on to the next slide, if we could. Let's just talk a little bit about some impacts. So what we heard directly from conference attendees, this is how a conference like this directly has an impact on the community we serve. In particular, I thought about one person who said, the conference made me think more critically about how my lab's research will be more accessible to all patient populations. So sort of taking into account barriers to research that often lead to a lack of diversity in study populations. So I was very pleased to see that's something that at least one of the attendees is taking back. Others were talking about ways that they will more aggressively pursue genetic diagnoses for their patients using information they learned at the conference. And others are looking at how they're measuring improvements in research, just to say, is this drug working? We have new outcomes. And so I think there were a lot of learnings, and these will go back and directly impact our community. So I will stop there. And I think this was our actual takeaway slide. So thank you for that. Just a few highlights there, or not. Thank you very much. Do you want me to do the highlights, Don? I can't tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I need that slide back then. So just a few things. Dr. Karsten Bonneman was the winner of the first MDA Legacy Award for clinical research. He has done amazing work in the field of genetic medicine, both in gene therapy and identifying genes. We talked about a new oral therapy for limb-girdle type 2I that looks very promising in clinical trial data, early trial data. Also, we reported continuing work on spinal muscular atrophy. So looking at children who do not yet have symptoms that were treated prophylactically with gene therapy. And it looks like that worked very well to prevent symptom onset. So now instead of treating a disease, we could potentially prevent it. And these were children who were older, not infants. And then what was really exciting, we also heard research about scientists who have developed a sort of soft robotic hand that can be completely controlled by your mind without moving. And this is important for people with diseases like ALS, who may eventually become somewhat locked in because they're not able to physically move. Now they can just think how they want to move and be able to get around in space. And then finally, there was a drug in trial for Friedreich's ataxia that looks really promising. And they had an extension trial where they continue to allow people to have that drug. And the data are looking very good for that disease, which is pretty devastating and currently has no treatments. So a lot of exciting things happened at conference, a lot of takeaways that go back directly to our community. And I apologize now because I will have to leave you because we are in the middle of our review session. We're reviewing over 200 applications for the next round of funding, and I'm going to go straight back to that meeting, but appreciate so much the chance to talk to you all now. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Hesterly. We appreciate it. Good luck at your 3 days of meetings. Well, welcome back to me. Sharing a little bit more of where MDA is in our communities. Hopefully, as you all know, families in our communities are at the heart of MDA, and our promise to you is to continue doing the impossible together. You'll hear that a lot from MDA and from Dr. Wood on MDA doing the impossible, and we do that with you. in addition to what Dr. Wood and Dr. Hesterly shared. Let me tell you about what we're doing within your communities on a local level. Regardless of where you are, you will find MDA. So look for us. The boot is back. I'm sure you've seen this hashtag all over social. We have currently 600 boot drives are scheduled across the country in 2022. Camp is opening. MDA is working hard to bring camps back. Sarah, I need you to switch the slides over. Okay, thank you. New care centers, 13 new locations have been added to the MDA Care Center network. Sarah, just keep flipping through if you could. Excellent, the 13 new locations. And MDA is in your community, as I mentioned. So thank you to all the volunteers, the committees, the sponsors, MDA families who are making, next slide please, muscle walks, golf outings, galas, team momentum, and a lot of DIY events are coming through the country. So you can see the map is filling. It continues on, and this year we were able to celebrate MDA Shamrocks turning 40. So thank you for making Shamrocks 2022 a huge success. We definitely went green from coast to coast with this campaign, and we couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you for helping us celebrate MDA Shamrocks. And Sunday is already May, and in May we celebrate and we bring awareness to ALS Awareness Month. And we're doing that together with MDA ourselves and Dutch Bros, raising awareness. You can find a Dutch Bros shop hopefully near you. Drink One for Dane is Friday, May 20th. We thank you and appreciate you for supporting ALS Awareness Month with MDA and with Dutch Bros. And with that, together, we are doing the impossible. Strengthen unity, strengthen community. I want to thank you all for taking time to join us today. I know we try to keep these town halls relatively short so everyone can get back to their day. We hope to see you again at the next, and we are grateful for all of you doing the impossible with us. Dr. Wood, if you have any parting words, I can see your face, so I just wanted to give you the opportunity, if you'd like, not to put you on the spot.
I always love the opportunity to, again, thank everybody for participating with our town hall. And we enjoy talking with you and letting you see the fact that MDA and the support we have for our doing the impossible and our pipeline of progress is huge. I can't thank all the donors, the partners, the folks that just make this possible. But at our heart, are the folks with neuromuscular disease and their families. And to be able to talk with you like this at a town hall is special. And I truly appreciate all the support you bring us and your inspiration that also comes with your participation. So again, finally, thank you very much for all the good work that we together are doing.
Great. Thank you all. Have a great day.